from the beginning.
This is so scary.
Very scary, actually.
There's a reason why you leave Pittsburgh.
Always very true on that one. Get out of Pittsburgh.
Oh, well.
That's all right.
Can't leave Pittsburgh.
Wait.
See?
Oh, sorry. I was gonna, not that I'm gonna really do this with notes, but we'll, okay, well, I did like everyone's portrayal of Molly as my dear sister Molly, but and Jana and I, we agree with all those positive things everybody has said, but the question is, like, how did she become who she is today? And it all started about 60 years ago. This is where we were born, in this house right here. And it was in a rural part of Pittsburgh, sort of outside, maybe about 20 miles. And Molly was born first, and she had plenty of time to define her territory, write her own laws, develop her own religion, her own disciplinary code, and basically wait for Dan and me to be born. Now, this is Molly when she was sort of like, she really had nothing to do except for getting ready. She got a little bored
She
with
liked
this.
fishing. As I say, she liked fishing.
Yeah, she liked fishing, that's right. Okay, so.
Who's looking for you?
Yes, and as you can see, she looked like a very, very nice, sweet girl, but she was getting a little bored with all that. And so, okay, so my mother was working on her own master's of library science, and so she was at Pitt most of the time, and Molly pretty much was able to enjoy the situation when Deanna and I came along, and everything was her way. It was either her way, which is the right way, or any other way, which was the wrong way. And I'd like to show you a few pictures and tell you really what was going on behind the scenes in these pictures. Remember, Dan and I woke up in Molly's world without the benefit of any fact checkers or the internet. So whatever she said, we believed. So she was practicing first with plants. She was telling the plant, you know, she's very, very persuasive. Like this plant was very concerned. And here, if you look, if you can see her eyes, it's just very, very, like, discontent. She wants to boss someone around. Very, very bossy person, very from the beginning. And it was basically an attitude of, what are you going to do about it? Now, well, Molly's main thing was she had a flashlight. And this is all true. And she would hold the flashlight on and tell us that if the flashlight went out, these blood-sucking monsters were going to attack her. And that was the only thing that was holding the bloodsuckers from us, was her willingness to hold the flashlight and keep it on. And we believed it. Because we lived on a little, like, was a red dog or like a dirt road, and there was no other kids around, and we had to, you know, it was way out in the woods. So we didn't know. Like, for example, here's a picture of Molly. She called this the ring of death. Now, if we either stood in it and weren't allowed to leave it, or she would stand in it, and then I'm just telling the truth here. And she would kill us if we disturbed her. Then around this time, Molly decided that she'd wear a crown all the time. And we would address her as Your Highness, and she made us curtsy. Even the dog was scared. You can see the dog's a little scared. And if anyone wants to inspect these pictures closer, this is just, they'll be up here. Now, Molly, you could see, I don't know, you might have to look at this closely, but she's looking down at us like she's ready to kill us because she had another little game that she played, and Molly, you tell me that this isn't true. She had this little record player. It had like 4 speeds. Well, 33, 45, 78, maybe there was 3. 16, yes. The slower she played the record, the slower we were supposed to work. And the faster she played it, the faster we had to work. So we were okay with that because we didn't want the bloodsuckers to go. Well, you know, as they say, when you get like all that power and everything, you start to get paranoid. And you can see here now she's sort of getting really sort of paranoid, and she's not liking a whole lot right there that's out there. So let's see here. Well, she decided that we were not worthy to hang out with. So she had some new friends come by. This is one of them here. Now, she also had a whole bunch of friends that we couldn't see. We weren't allowed to see them. She played with them in a room all the time, and then when she was done playing with them, she invited us in to clean up to the record shop. And you know, you've heard of the term homeschooling. Well, we were play school. You know, Molly, she would just sort of teach, and we would learn. Now Dan there, he's the little one there, so he had a tough time. And all of those people up there, those were some of her other friends that would come to life if she decided to call upon them, and she warned us. So, let's see here. Now, some people say that librarians are people that used to think they liked children. But when I heard Molly was going to get a degree in children and the arts, I just kept on thinking about the Pied Piper story. Now, in full disclosure, I'd like to tell you might ask me, why did I choose to show you these pictures and tell you about the dark side of Molly? Well, honestly, out of the millions of photos we had at our house, there was only 6 or 7 of me and Dan. It's her being the older child, and you could see in the reflection of our eyes the blood-sucking monster would be there, and we were just continually afraid. And yeah, around this time, oh, I forgot, we had a donkey. Does everybody, this is Molly getting ready to cold cock the donkey. She punched this donkey, and one punch she knocked him on the ground. So it's not like I'm faking this. And you can see it. Look at her face. She's ready to punch the donkey. And around this time, our pet, we found its head like laying on the ground. She bit its head off. Not that there's any, you know, that was okay. And, you know, some people might ask me, well, what's the purpose of bringing all this out now? You know, I'm retired. But if you had to live up to your sister's good, smart girl image, making the honor roll all the time, during elementary, junior high, high school, knowing you were going to trash and burn all those preconceptions, then you would do this too. And I'd like to end with advice to all of us that are aging. Don't let anything get you down. It's way too hard to get up. And I'd like to thank Molly for teaching me to drive and let me use a car at 14.